In this video, I want to show you how to add my stock index strategy to reagent view. So, let's go through the next stage and tell you about the nuances of this strategy, and also how to check it for profitability in the strategy. In this case, we will use the spike tool. This is an index with a 500 enter fund. It will also work on stocks, so-called growth, and the time frame will be used days. In fact, you can experiment with any time frame, but for now, as a matter of fact, let's do it on that day frame and on this tool that I will show. The code for 3 will be in the description below this video, so you can find it, and I think it needs to be made public, because the code is actually not complicated, very simple and designed for trending markets. I want to emphasize that this code will be suitable for trending markets. So, we open the Pine editor. In this case, we already have some kind of blank of the code itself. If you have something written, you have to save or click, for example, open, nectar, not to meet the same and libers are the same. For example, take nectar. Then you delete all the information that is in the code and paste the copied code. In the description under my video there is this copied code in full, and we paste it here. In this case, I left the code, and here it is completely shown here. There are already presets here, just focused on in SpyV. Then we save this indicator, click Save and click this chart, and your indicator will appear on the chart. I will not do this, I already have it in the prepared, it is called Dale Strategy, and I'm actually adding him to the chart. On the free version, you will not have the opportunity to test, most likely on deep back testing, yes, but nevertheless you can see the full testing, which we will also pass with you now. So, what are we going to do? First of all, we will turn on back testing, that is, test it on a large number of stories. Let's take the first possible date and take today. Click on the General Rate Report. You immediately generate a report on which you can see how much total profit was made, how many trades were made, the percentage of profitability, profit factor, maximum drawdown, average profit per transaction and the number of bars used on average to hold a position. But before we continue, we must first make adjustments to the strategy itself in order to see how to actually trade without leverage, because there is actually a very, very small volume here. So, we make adjustments. The first thing we need to do here is to choose the percentage of shares, that is, as if we are trading on full capital. That is, they opened it for full capital, closed it. One transaction is used. In order for us to fully match the trades on the current, well, in real time in accordance with what we see on the charts, we need to turn on all these ticks, and, accordingly, we will be able to analyze in more detail. In INPUS, we put by, source open, leet 1 here. You can experiment with these parameters and get the result. Click OK and click Generate Report again. And we generate a new report in accordance with the fact that we have increased the deposit. What was it used here? That is, when we made a profit, the previous amount was involved, that is, the amount received was involved, the opening of transactions again. What did we get? So, the profit factor is 2,448%, that is, we have increased the deposit without leverage 24 times over this period of time. In total, 1,104 trades were traded, the percentage of profitable trades was 72%, the profit factor was 167, the maximum drawdown was only 32% in the most, as they say, difficult times. The average profit on the transaction was 0.31% and the maximum number, well, the average number of bars that we used was 5 trading to it. Well, in principle, we will see this equity curve. Accordingly, you can experiment with different indices, you can experiment with stocks and other instruments, but be sure to experiment on large time frames, this will give a big profit. An important point is also that in this strategy the direction corresponding to the global trend should be chosen. This is about the main stocks, the so-called growth, or stock indices, which are characteristic of either growth or decline. That is, we take the bias that we will only use purchases on this tool. This, in principle, worked in the past, and it still works now. Well, in order to test you on deep history, of course, you can take certain years separately and test it all about history. I hope you will need to remember the code of this indicator again, and you can read it here, and let's open it so that you can see it completely, or copy it in the description under this video and use it.